Hi everyone, I'm Peter Garnase and welcome to UTrade Rundown. SPNEC just changed its name to MGENR, but the real story could create billions in shareholder value. Here's what's happening. Most investors still think of SPNEC as the company behind the massive MTerra solar project. But Meralco has much bigger ambitions. The plan is to transform MGENR into Meralco's flagship renewable energy vehicle by injecting the operating assets of MGen Renewables into the company through a backdoor listing. The transaction could also pave the way for a potential re-IPO in 2027, giving MGENR another avenue to raise capital and accelerate growth. Now, some investors immediately worry about dilution, but dilution alone doesn't determine whether a deal is good or bad. The more important question is, what are shareholders getting in return? Because if MGen Renewables inject high-quality operating assets that significantly increase earnings and cash flows, investors may end up owning a smaller percentage of a much larger and a more valuable company. In other words, it's not about the size of your slice, it's about the size of the pie. So the real story isn't that SPNEC became MGENR. The real story is that Meralco is trying to create a listed renewable energy company. And the key thing investors should watch is whether the final swap ratio fairly reflects the value of the assets being injected. The question isn't whether shareholders get diluted, but whether they're getting a bigger pie in return. And that's it for this week's UTrade Rundown. For regular market updates, open a UTrade account today.